And we are live. Hello and welcome to Developer Insights. I'm David.
There you go. And
All right,
I'm
cool.
Justin.
Together we are leads on game development and design here at Codename.
We also founded Codename too.
That's true. We're going to be your host for this episode and every episode.
Yes, because when we're not here, the show doesn't happen. That's right. The show never happens without both of us here. Mark my words.
That's true. I don't know why you're putting such a fine point on that.
Today is our 181st episode.
Okay, that's cool. What noteworthy trivia do you have about the number 181 for us today?
I have no noteworthy trivia about the number 181 prepared.
Okay, you have no noteworthy trivia about the number 181 prepared?
Yes, there will be no noteworthy trivia about the number 181 today.
No noteworthy trivia.
No, none.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not really sure where we go from here. You know, I was ready for you to spout off something about Star Wars or something from the 90s.
Yeah, I have nothing of note to contribute to that line of thinking.
Nothing of note.
Nothing, not a thing, nothing.
Cool. Well, this was great. Why don't we just move on?
Okay, today we are here to answer development and design questions about idle champions.
Yeah, and if you don't ask any questions, however, you may have to suffer through, oh God, what did you write here? Justin's one-man reenactment of him reading through Michael A. Stackpole Star Wars books and comics in the 90s.
Yeah, your comment about the 181st TIE Fighter Squadron that you actually just skipped over really got me thinking about them.
I did skip that, didn't I?
Yeah, it really kind of ruined this part of the script.
We could do it again, like
No,
from the
it's
top.
fine. That's fine.
Right? And we are, no. It's not what
It was gonna end really well too. But anyway, let's go on to some questions from the previous episode.
I really should read these in advance.
Saboteur!
That's true. Anyway, as always, we have pulled forward some questions from the previous show and that we didn't get to, so we're going to answer some of those while we're waiting for new questions to come in. But before we get to those, we do have some updates flagged. We got a few items here that haven't quite got neared completion, but I'll mention those before we get into last week's questions. If I can find the right doc. I know what I'm doing here. Cool. All right. As far as fixes and new features, things that are in progress, we do have still ongoing the fixes for the Xbox build. More progress has been made on that. We are just about ready to submit that in for certification so that we can get that out to everybody. But it has sort of been an ongoing and long process to get that fixed, but it is very, very close to being fixed at this point. Every time we got close to thinking we were done, another layer of issues appeared. Just in terms of getting everything set up again. One of those last items was that it turned out the purchasing flow changed from the old version to the new version. And we do feel like that is particularly important and needed to get fixed before pushing it out. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Turns out when people make their purchases on Xbox, they want to actually get their items.
Yes. Yeah, I hear that's important. So, but we're this close.
Very close.
And beyond that, the condensed loot view that I mentioned last week has been put through another round of reviews, and some changes are being made to it before that gets rolled out, but it is still in progress and hopefully will end up in the next build.
Yes.
Not the next build, but the next build.
Yeah, the next
Because
build.
the next one's coming out very shortly.
Yeah, 633.1 will come out before next Wednesday.
Cool. All right, let's get into questions that were left over from last week. First question is from Solid Oxide asking, has there been any thought to an Uggy feat, like the Ceramorphous feat, where you're waiting until the team is released to consider, or are you waiting until the entire team is released to consider it?
That's an interesting question. I guess that would be a feat that allows Uggy to be pulled to another champion. Wow. I mean, so quite honestly, no, there hasn't been any thought about that until even more honestly, until I pulled this question forward when I was reviewing the questions from last week. I think it'd be super complicated because, Uggy being on a champion, or even Uggy just being able to be pulled to a champion, the way that we set that up is through the ultimates, right? So all of the fallbacks have basically one ultimate that they share, and then they've got Call Uggy when Uggy's not next to them. And so I guess the question is if you could have Uggy on another champion, like if you get a Uggy feat for Dritz or something, would would Dritz's ultimate then be like combined into the rest of the fallback's ultimate? So he would like go in sequence with them, and I think it'd be cool, but I'm honestly not sure how or if it would work, because that would, there's way more implications to Uggy moving around than there are to just increasing the number of Ceramorphosis stacks by 1. But it's a cool idea. I'll have to run it past our dev lead and see if he thinks it's if there's any possibility whatsoever of doing it.
Sorry, I was distracted by the poll.
What?
There's a poll in the chat. Was Diophantine part of Sean's vocabulary before today?
Oh, I mean, absolutely no way. I like how no one's answered no. It's either yes or absolutely no way.
Which is apparently, I didn't know it till
No,
I looked it up.
I hadn't seen that one either.
A polynomial equation where only integer solutions are sought. Interesting.
Interesting. All right, the next question here from last week's episode is for you, my friend, from Tranamo, who asked, in the champion swap pop-up, can we please have an option to have the champions ordered alphabetically in the seats rather than by release date?
Champion swap pop-up.
I think we've gotten this one before.
Oh, yeah, I want to say that we decided that we would let it be ordered by what your previous champion search order was.
I checked it today.
But I don't think we implemented that.
Yeah, I checked it today and it's not implemented.
Because, I mean, you might not have one. I guess you'd always have one that's saved. Yeah. I know for sure there was a request to have some sort of sorting options on there.
Yeah, we've talked about this before, almost certainly.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it does feel like, I think both now and then when we talked about it before, it does sound like a good idea.
Yeah.
Just the exact implementation details of that.
Yeah.
Do we bother to put an actual sort on that window? The challenge with, I think the limited usefulness of that is that most of those don't have a huge number of items in them, and we're talking 12 to 15. What's the largest one at this point?
We must be pushing 15.
Yeah. Okay. Next question. This one is from Art Demissive, asking, in the collections feat screen, when we are looking at gem feats, can we get an indicator of the ones that are in the game but not yet available for gem purchase, as to the date they will become available for gem purchase, or at the least an indicator that they are not yet available for purchase but will unlock in time?
Yes, we can probably do this. I know we do this in the actual individual character dialogues, so we should be able to do this in collections as well.
Do we tag those in advance?
Yeah.
We do, okay.
Yeah, we set the day they will become available for gems when we set up the feat.
Okay.
Because it's just part of the setup process that Sasha does.
Fair. I thought originally we didn't do that.
We didn't
we did a bunch
we
that floated
added
there for a
feat
while.
exclusivity earlier this year for premium DLC. Yeah, so people who spend money to support the game get the feat for a couple of months before other people do for gems. So keeps it free to play, but also a bonus if you're helping to keep the lights on, which most of our lights are still on, so that's good.
Well, that's true. Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's important just that the monitors are on. I can program in the dark if I have to.
Yeah, I guess we should probably. I forgot how to do this. We've been. I feel like we only missed 1 week, but I feel like we've been away for a while. Let's see here. Let's highlight some questions, and you can just start asking them as we go here.
Sure. Do I ask them in order or just randomly? How do you?
In order would be good.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, alphabetically maybe. Actually, if you want to go by
We
alphabetically.
should order them alphabetically.
Yeah, we should order these questions alphabetically.
All right. Who starts? We got to. Nope. No one starts here with an A. This player's name starts with a Z, so we could. We'll just go read the bottom.
Oh, sorry, Xavian218. To be fair, their question is already second from the bottom, well, third from the bottom now, but yeah.
Okay, first question from today is from Cassius335, and it says, not a question. Just thank you for the daily reward defaulting to on, no less. That was a scary few weeks. Yes, we did add an option back to that dialogue to hide it if you didn't wish to see it every day, but otherwise it can default to come on and show every day.
Yes, this was. I think we mentioned this sort of on last episode and the episode before, how we kind of at the beginning of September, or really through August and July for us, we were looking at how can we get rid of a bunch of these notifications and a bunch of these pop-ups so that people can just load the game and get into playing, because we're seeing a lot of complaints and posts and reviews and whatnot that were saying like there's just too much pop-ups, it's too hard to actually start playing the game, and so we killed a lot of those pop-ups or moved them or did them at different times. And the daily rewards clearly was one that people did want to still have pop up.
Yes, we clearly went too far.
We went too far. We cut too far, and we put it back.
Yep, that's
so.
There we go. Cool. All right, next question. This question is from The Clues, asking, last Dev Insights there was a request to remove favor costs for legendaries while revamping the system. That's a great idea. Can we do that, please?
Yeah, I'm still thinking about that. Obviously, I guess the word got out that I was seconded away to...
Is that a word?
Seconded? Yeah.
I thought the word you're looking for is sequestered.
No, seconded. Seconded?
Sequestered.
Seconded. I don't know. I'm only using it because...
seconded is what you looked up.
Okay, well...
The word you're looking for is...
Absconded?
No, that's where you, like, don't do a thing.
Secreted. I was secreted away.
Ew.
In a dank, dark dungeon.
Here we go, Justin. This is what you're looking for. Sequestered.
I know sequestered is a word.
Like a jury.
I feel like there was another, yeah.
Or apparently in chemistry.
Maybe it's just something used in government, because my wife uses it a lot when people get like taken off to maybe it's esconded. Maybe I'm just misunderstanding her pronunciation.
It's esconded.
Esconded? Yeah. Anyway. What was the question again? Something about legendaries. Oh, yes. Favor costs for legendaries.
To hide or conceal something.
Yes.
Yes.
Anyway.
We didn't hide or conceal you.
Justin put in dark room to do design. Yes, so the legendary question here about removing legendary favor costs while revamping the system. It is something we're still thinking about, but it's going to depend on sort of how long until we revamp the system, whether it's worth it to kind of put the effort in ahead of revamping the system, because part of what has come up through the trials discussions we've been having is, does it make sense to kind of move up the legendary rework to kind of be part of that update, or do we keep them separate as kind of was the original intention? So it's something we're still working through here. If we do decide to keep them separate, then this kind of thing of removing the legendary cost or removing the favor cost will definitely be something that we consider more seriously. But if we end up sort of squishing them together, then it will become a moot point, because the reworked legendary system likely won't have favor costs to begin with.
All right, next question. This one is from Emote, asking, when re-rolling the weekly offers, I seem to recall being told that the rarity of the offer should never be able to go down. Is that still true? Wait for it. I bet there's a case where he says that's happened. Because on Monday, I free re-rolled a 70% legendary yellow border weekly offer, and it became a 50% rare blue offer.
Yes, that should still be true. I don't know what happened with this offer here, but we have not changed anything. So either, yeah, I mean, something must have broken there.
There's something about like the free one is always shown as legendary because it's free. Is that?
I think they used a free reroll to do it.
Oh, the free reroll. I see.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, it's not supposed to be able to do that. That's interesting. A lot of people in chat are saying that they've seen that happen as well.
Justin, you had one job when you wrote that system.
I can't think of why. Like the only change we've made to that system recently is basically just making the free rerolls permanent. But I can't think of what that would have changed.
Sean, I haven't heard of that happen. Tickets, please.
Yes. Please open tickets about this if that's happening. Because yeah, it's not supposed to happen. The only thing I could see is like if it was right on the cusp of your offers refreshing, and then you re-rolled and it was re-rolling it based off of the new set of offers. So I could see if you pulled up your offers with like a second left or a couple of seconds left and then re-rolled one, that if it re-rolled it based off of what the new offer was. But yeah, I don't know.
All right, well, I kind of like Sean says, if that happens, the ticket should give us that information so we can see when it happens.
Yeah, we can look. We do record what offers get re-rolled and what they were re-rolled from, so that we can throw that into an analytical engine, aka Junwan, and have him tell me what offers people don't like.
Or at the very least, we can debug if there's a problem.
Or we can debug if there's a problem.
Yeah.
It's got two benefits.
Okay, next question, also from Emote. How did the Trials rework solitary confinement go? Anything you can spoil?
Anything I can spoil? I mean, we are getting close to the point where I'd like to kind of sit down and sort of go through some of the design ideas with the community to try and get some feedback.
You're going to get feedback from the community?
Yeah, I mean, at a high level. I think it went really well. We got, I basically took 2 days, slashed all the meetings and stuff off my schedule. And by slashed all the meetings off my schedule, I mean I got down to less than an hour or 2 of meetings a day, and just sat in my basement and did some design for that. And we got basically an updated version of what we'd had sort of earlier in the year that the sort of stakeholders here had chatted about. In terms of sort of things, I mean, I think we made some good progress with sort of how there's some new progression systems in it, and so we made some good progress on how those progression systems work, both from a free to play and for people who want to support the game, and sort of how they work together. Because the initial design, I think it was a little bit more heavy-handed on sort of monetization, and we've sort of pulled back a lot on that to make it more free-to-play friendly. So I guess that's a spoiler. Spoiler, there's less stuff to buy in the system.
Lurking Writer's asking for a solo Justin stream. So this would be next week. You can do a reenactment of you taking questions from the community on the new design.
Sure.
If you're doing it the first time, I guess it can't be a reenactment.
No. Yeah, that's not what a reenactment is.
No.
You're thinking of a re-escondment.
I'm not seconded.
I'm not.
All right. Next question. This one is also from Emote, who got a few here saved up, I imagine. Could Kazran get a way to continue...
A pre-enactment.
A pre-enactment? Could Kazran get a way to continue collecting her persistent lifetime book count, even if she's capped in the adventure? Just to be clear, I'm not asking to let her go above the adventure cap, just continue counting towards the lifetime amount only. Maybe a feat, maybe she teleports them to her personal library instead of keeping them on her person.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Who said she was keeping them on her person to begin with?
Yeah, she's
There's
definitely
a lot
not.
of books.
I think the cap is like more than 1,000. That's a lot of books.
Yeah.
That's very. If you ever tried to move boxes of books, that's very heavy.
Yes.
In fact, I specifically recall when I was moving.
I swear I've moved boxes of your books before.
Yes, when you were helping me move.
And the elevator was broken that day.
The elevator was broken. I was moving into the 4th floor.
Uh-huh.
I distinctly remember collapsing and feeling like I was going to die after carrying a lot of Star Wars books from the 90s up those stairs.
It was a sad joke from maintenance. It was like, oh, someone's moving in today. Let's close the let's close the elevator for repairs.
I never actually saw the elevator in that building closed for repairs any time except for that day.
Yeah.
I think that was just a joke. Anyway, the question that was asked here. So basically, I think what happens is, you get to your cap in the adventure, and then books don't drop anymore, and so you can't collect them anymore, and you're just looking for a way to just sit in an adventure and just collect more and more books without having to reset the adventure.
That's a good question. I mean, I like having to reset the adventure, but it's also like it's not super, like it's just a tedium thing. So that's something I'll consider. I mean, I think anywhere where we can kind of remove some tedium and it doesn't really affect balance or anything, I think that's something that we can definitely consider.
Cool. All right. Next question. This one is also from Emote, but looks like the last one of the series. Could Titania potentially get a feat or something to reduce the time it takes her to find a feast? 19 seconds is quite a long time.
Can you say the name of that champion again?
Titania?
Tatiana?
Tatiana. Oh, no. Titania is the character from A Midsummer's Night Dream.
You're thinking of Puck. No, I'm just kidding.
That's a really weird pronunciation of Puck.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I don't know if in her design we have the concept of feats that reduce the time until she runs off. I'd have to double check the design, and I don't really. Well, let's see. We've got a bit of time. Why not? You can watch Justin Google his design documents. Tatiana. What year is she? Year 5, I want to say. Or is it year 6? It is year 5.
Fae champions.
Let's see here. What do we got in the feats section? We have in the feats section, requested feat by player, find a feast cooldown reduction. So
it's in there?
Yeah, it's in here. So I think all that we really need to, wow, this is an older kind of design layout. I think all we have to do is have Tatiana pop up as a feat champion, or a champion that we have to have a feat for, either in a celebration or a emergence or DLC, and at which point we'll probably put something like that in.
Okay.
Yeah. Good question.
Next question. This one is from the Sifu. Now that Events 2.0 has been in full swing for over a year, I'm curious which event tiers the majority of players complete each event. What percentage of players hits each tier goal? Has this changed over time, and is there anything you would change to push players to finish new tiers, particularly when an event comes around again?
That's a good question. So yeah, I don't have the data in front of me right now for exactly which tiers people are completing. I know that definitely people who are actively engaging are definitely completing up to tier 3, and a lot of them are completing tier 4. We're seeing a lot of people who are completing all 4 tiers, especially people who are more active, obviously, in the game. I think that, so augments are one thing that we try and use to kind of encourage people to finish more tiers. Because obviously it's beneficial to us for people to engage more in the game and spend more time in the game, because if you spend more time in the game, you're more likely to find something that we offer for Platinum that you want, which is, of course, what keeps the lights on around here. So, we do try and encourage people to complete tiers with augments, like you get extra things for completing adventures. It's one of the things that made the extra rewards kind of really a beneficial augment for both you guys and for us. And so I think we've been playing around with different encouragements to push further in events. I think the thing that events need, honestly, at this point is I think they just need a 5th tier. It feels like the Area 1600 goals are good, but are also there's something that people are starting to trivialize with supercharged motor on cores and really high legendary levels and all of the sort of power levers that people have. And I think that we need to find a way to increase the power drain in events so that we can, when we add more power, like when we do the legendary rework, it's probably going to add some more power, or at least add the potential for more power. And so having some higher tiers in there is probably something that I would see us adding in the not so distant future.
Okay. Next question. This was funny. Was Ravenous Beebot asked, "Can we have a poll on whether we think diaphantine was a part of Sean's vocabulary before today?"
I think we did have a poll.
Yeah. Did we get the results on that?
I think it was 87% said no frickin' way. But there were some people who said yes. Who, yeah, maybe. I don't think we actually got an answer from Sean. Maybe we did. I didn't. It just scrolled past in the chat when I was highlighting things. But did Sean actually answer whether or not he did?
Yeah.
Don't know.
That's crazy. 17 said absolutely
he had
no way.
no idea what that word was. All right. So congratulations to everyone who was correct. And
I mean, that's a pretty high number.
and he still doesn't. Okie dokie.
Although it's almost right. 17 said absolutely no way, and 4 who said yes. Because a little known fact is that 25% of every person, 25% of people get all polls wrong. So
Is that true?
yeah, it's true.
And what percentage of statistics are made up on the spot?
I couldn't tell you. I don't have that one handy.
100%.
Doesn't seem possible. But moving on. Next question. This one is from Alpha Kroll. How far down on the list, or which list, is the feat rework? And what is the chance we'll get expanded to 6 feat slots before the rework take place, if the reworks are set far, far in the future? Personally, I kind of like the extra puzzle about having to select a few feats for each character depending on the problem I'm trying to solve. Though, with more and more feats, it's getting harder and harder to do the feats puzzle. And it's not making it easier with the feats save feature. Quotes around feature.
Yes. Quotes. Yeah, so a feats rework is not currently on any of my lists. It is something that I'd like to do. So if it was on a list, it would probably be on like the medium or low priority list. But it's not something that is currently high on the list. I think is there a chance we get expanded to 6 feat slots before the rework? I don't know. Maybe. It kind of depends on whether we feel like adding more feat slots would be something that would improve the game in some sort of way. There are still a couple of champions out there who are struggling to fill their 4 feat slots. We are reworking them as quickly as we can. But we've been doing a lot of the feat design we've been doing more recently has been around champions with 4 feat slots. So we've been making sure that there's like 4 uncommon feats on each champion that we rework. And so, yeah, I think I'd have to put more thought into whether or not a feat rework or adding more feat slots is something we'd like to prioritize. I can think of a couple of cool ideas for it, but yeah, nothing off the top. We haven't done any design internally yet.
Okay.
Let's see. It looks like giveaway is ready to go after the question. The question is done, so that means the giveaway is ready to go. Do you know what the giveaway is?
Do we have something to give away?
We do.
Is it your
I have
chest?
something to give away. Yes, I have a surplus of chests. I just keep on getting them. I don't know where they come from, honestly. I think there's some sort of cron job that just adds chests to my account every day or every week or something. But yeah, there's going to be a giveaway very shortly. There'll be a keyword in chat. I can guess what the keyword is going to be. I think it's going to start with D and end with teen. It is too. And all you have to do is copy and paste that keyword into chat, and you'll be entered for a chance to win 42 of my chests. You get to pick one type. If you win, you get to pick one type of chest, and we'll give you 42 of that chest. It's only gold chests or Modron component chests. I guess you could choose silver chests, but that would just be silly. Don't do that. Can't choose platinum chests because they're too good.
Arbitrarily, you just don't want them to have them.
They're mine. Yeah,
You're keeping those
I'm
ones.
opening all of my platinum chests because they have extra item levels in them. But yeah, there's a lot of good types of chests you could get in the game. What are a type of good chests in the game that you think?
I mean, I don't mind like a good concealed chest, or potentially a remote chest. It's not bad to have a lonely chest. That's probably a quiet chest, actually, and it's a secret chest. I think having it an isolated chest is probably a good chest. Maybe one that is a secluded chest, away from all the other people.
Yeah.
Maybe a sequestered chest. That might be.
The thing is, it's not. This isn't typed
I know.
Of. You're just doing synonyms.
That's
Justin's work locations. That's the closest one.
Yeah. Yeah.
These are synonyms, not.
I changed up the game slightly today.
Not types of. You changed up the game without telling people you were changing the game.
I was going to see if we get to that.
Really, really unfair.
All right. The word I was looking for was
sequestered.
No, esconded.
Esconded.
That was the
sequester. Synonyms of sequester. I don't know. I think you messed up the game. You're fired.
Oh. Someone got it with Justin's work locations.
Yes, sequestered.
Yeah. 42 chests for everyone. Yeah, no one got it, so you owe everyone chests.
No, that's not how it works. Dave's game doesn't award anything. It's just bragging rights, and barely that.
Whoa.
It's the keyword in chat that yeah. Okay. Why don't we continue on to some more of the thingies?
Let's do it.
Oh, okay. The next one's for you. I see what you're doing. You're waiting. This next question is from Xavian2018. Oh, we got to the last question of the show quite quickly. It is common for me to use multiple formations in one run, e.g. a push team to set Bud, a speed team with Briv and Hugh, and then finally a gold team to farm Favor. At the moment, we can set one of those formations for mode run automation, which allows the mode run to select champ specializations. Any chance we can have the ability to change formations and tell the mode run to also apply save specializations? Something like temporarily setting the formation for mode run automation. I'm going to assume that the question got cut off. Using, so. But yes, I think they're looking for a way to set multiple save formations and assumedly have them be able to load at a certain area. And then probably also use potions, multiple of the same type of potions in different areas as well.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's sort of been an ongoing request for various features of the mode run automation to be a little bit more sophisticated to allow for more than just load this one formation and use these set of potions when the run starts. No, I mean, it's not a bad idea. I do think adding stuff to the mode run automation system would be beneficial. Being able to switch formations mid-run, I could see something like that being helpful. But right now, I think just from an allocation of development resources, it's probably not something that we would put at the top of the priority list. Justin knows all about his priority lists and how things... Well, what do you have, Justin? You've got your burning, I need to do this right now list, and then the I'm never going to get to it list.
My ASAP list and my never list. Right. I've got 3 never lists. No, that's not true. I'm actually working. I got one thing done on the high priority list.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
See? Yeah. You probably feel good about that.
Yeah, there's the ASAP list, the high priority list, and then there's 2 never going to get these done lists.
Yeah. But I guess along those lines that, I think it'd be really cool if we could add some more functionality to the mode run automation, but I don't have a clear sort of idea or vision of when that would be something that we could prioritize working on. Cool. All right. Next question. This one is from Leon 2018-2019 Packingan asking, why is daily rewards not automatic?
Why? Why don't you just claim it automatically? Is that what they're asking? Like you log in and you just get 10 platinum or whatever the bonus reward is?
Yes, that is the question.
That is a good question. So this is something that we've kind of learned in this kind of game design over the years, is that for the most part, giving things to people automatically without any user interaction generally leads to one thing. tickets. It leads to people opening up tickets and being like, I didn't get my daily rewards today. I swear when I logged in I had 70 and then it automatically gave me the reward and I still have 70. And then invariably we will look in their history and it'll be like, you had 60, then you got the daily reward, then you had 70 and you're mistaken. And so the main reason you have to click to get anything that could just be handed out automatically is so that you have to actually click something to take an action, and that generally solves 99% of those tickets. So it's just a game design thing. It adds an extra step. It's a little bit annoying, but it saves a lot of people being confused about whether or not they got something, and a lot of tickets on our side as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Tried, true, and tested.
If you have to take an action to receive something, you remember that you did it.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question. This one is from Max I. Cubert. Can we get a serious improvement? Okay, not a non-serious improvement. On sorting and filtering when selecting a time gate. Not even a per seat filter. It's bad.
Yeah, that's a good one. Maybe that's something we can assign to to the Ryans.
Yeah, that's definitely something that has gone overlooked for a long time, and I think the last time that system was updated in terms of just making something, just the actual selection there, all of the newer dialogues and all the ones that now have sorting and filtering have happened post that original time gate. Actually, not even the original time gate. That's time gate V2 for the sort and filter on that, or lack thereof. So, because I think it has 3 pretty primitive options there, popular,
3 or
alphabetical.
4.
I don't know what
it's got a couple of filters and sorts, but they're nothing like kind of the existing, the new era ones. Yes. It needs a rework. That dialogue, similar to an old champion, it needs to be brought up to modern spec.
Yeah, certainly.
I think that could be tasked out.
I agree. Okay, next question. This one is from OG17 asking, could something be done to save Uggy's position in a formation, both for quality of life and background offline use, especially with Kazran, who doesn't work as a DPS outside of the active party since she loses her pre-stack?
Yeah, that's a really good point. We should look at that. I think we had this question before, and I was like, yeah, I don't think it does, because I just don't know what variable it would be, where it would be tracking that. But I agree, especially with Kazran, she really needs to have Uggy on her if she's in your background party, or else she's going to be doing a fraction of the damage she should be doing. So this is maybe something that we can assign to a dev to implement. Also might be good. I
remember this was when this initially came up. I know that Tyson was looking at it, but it was a question of, it was just a little bit, I think it was a little bit more annoying than initially thought it, or than he initially thought it would be. I think it had something to do with, it wasn't just as simple as storing which champion had Uggy, because it had to do with the order that the formation was loaded in, and when it went to load the Uggy onto a champion, if that, it was checking to see if there was any other fallback champion in the formation, and because of the ordering, even if there was, they weren't there yet because it hadn't actually put them in the formation yet when it's loading the formation. Yeah, and so then Uggy got pulled from that character because
it's got to be like a post-loaded step, which is likely not something we have. It would have to be like, it's like the champion themselves would have to have like a post-load check that would then, if you have a fallback champion in the formation, all of them would have a post-load check for where Uggy should actually be.
Yeah, because I think what was happening was Uggy was getting saved as Uggy is with the champion in the middle, but then the champion on the outside would read it and say, is Uggy with any other fallback in the formation? No? Cool, give it to me. Yeah. And that was because the other champions hadn't been put in the formation yet as part of the load.
Yeah.
Anyway.
There's probably some optimizations we can make there, for sure.
Okie dokie.
That the whole Uggy, how they switch between champions and whatnot. I felt very clever when we came up with that design.
Yeah.
But there are definitely some edge cases. We knew there would be edge cases. The design doc for like Uggy, for the Uggy passive for all these guys is like almost a page long in terms of all of the caveats that we had to make sure that we were covering. But obviously the background party one did not get covered.
All right. Next question. This one is from the Lurking Writer asking, regarding feats, can we please be able to purchase gem feats directly from the collection screen? It would be a nice quality of life change. Having to hunt down which champions have new feats by loading them into formation and checking their character sheet is only going to take longer the more champions we have.
Yeah, I think this one's already on a to-do list somewhere. There's a bunch of collection screen stuff that is still kind of pending.
Yeah, you can tag that one again, but
I
did think this one
again.
was looked at, or I thought it was supposed to be looked at.
Yeah. I know we were doing some source stuff.
Yeah, we
on
definitely did the
feats.
source stuff.
And so, I don't know if it got, I thought it was supposed to be dealt with when we did the source stuff, but if not, then it's probably still on a list somewhere.
All right.
Next question is from OG17, who asks, could the event buff pop-up allow clicking on individual characters to disable them along with the current global checkbox? If you're disabling buffs, it's for a specific purpose, like not disrupting farming. You'd still want buffs for everything else, and you don't want to toggle it on and off every time you change tasks.
Yeah, I mean, if I remember correctly, when we implemented this, it wasn't so straightforward. Like I think it was an all or nothing option. I'm not remember if that was because, like I feel like that was what specifically you asked it to be, Justin. I'm not 100% sure if the reasoning for that was from a design side, or if it was because we thought it was going to be challenging from a technical thing to break them out.
I think it was just, my recollection was the request kind of came in from people who are like any sort of temporary buffs are mucking up my gem farming. So please give me the option to turn off all temporary buffs so that I can gem farm in a silo. And I think it was just like, oh, this is just the easiest way to do it without having too much UI or without having to click like 6 times to disable like the global ones and then each champion's ones or whatever. So this is kind of approaching it from the opposite side of I want to be very specific about which buffs I keep and which buffs I disable. It also kind of sounds like that they're referring to like different parties having different buffs enabled. Sort of if you're switching tasks, like maybe you want your gem farm to have them disabled, but your normal push party or whatever or variant parties to have them active. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean,
there's a lot of stuff we could do there. It's just the question kind of becomes, when are we starting to get too fiddly with our options?
I think it's also a question too of like, what's the is it a good allocation of developer time on this when it's a question of how many people are benefiting from it. Mm-hmm. So, I hesitate to something like this, making it individual. It could take, 4 or 5 hours dev time, maybe a day. And if it's something else that would impact a lot more people, I would rather do that. Okay. Next question. This one is from Rough Rider 1995. Where does Uggy go when there is a fallback champion in each of the 3 background parties?
That's a good question. I'm just noticing that there's questions that I'm seeing in chat that are not showing up on QuestionBot. And I'm wondering if adding in the giveaways ready to go actually breaks QuestionBot from adding more questions to the list. I don't know.
It shouldn't have, but...
It shouldn't, but I removed that, and I'm just going to copy a couple of these in. So, yeah, I don't know why these didn't get copied in. Do it old school style. Woo!
Also, we got Sean for. Huh.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
I wonder if that, from a timing perspective, if that's what happened.
Yeah, that's
I
was thinking. Anywho, We do. I think we have enough questions to finish the show
Gar,
off. But
old school. You mean how I do it on Saturdays? Yeah. Listen, question bot is fragile, as we're learning.
yeah.
If you say the wrong thing to it, it stops copying your questions.
Yeah, were we disrespectful at some point to question bot?
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. Back to where we were. Oh, yeah. Where does Uggy go when there's a fallback champion in each of the 3 background parties?
Okay. Rough Rider 1995 asks us, yes. Where does Uggy go when there's a fallback champion in each of the 3 background parties? So I actually...
I know where it goes.
Do you? Oh, where?
To all of them.
That's true, yes. So part of the design is that there can be multiple Uggies. It breaks space and time and whatnot, but yes. If you have a fallback champion in each of your parties, Uggy will be in each of those parties.
Yep. Uggy can be in multiple places at the same time.
Yes. Uggy is an amazing what the heck is the name of the... Even if somebody typed it in chat, I wouldn't be able to pronounce it, so... Uggy's a good little pup.
It's actually very, 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 very fast.
Yes.
Can move between the locations faster than you can see Uggy moving.
Odiug. Thank you, the Lurking Writer, for doing the... Yeah. Uggy is a great little Odiug. Just breaks space and time.
All right. Next question. This one is from Garwar asking, since the Erois core is the only core locked behind a paywall, is there any chance putting it up for a really high gem cost, like 5 million? It would appease the free-to-play and pay-to-play costs and be viable.
Yeah, it's a good question. So I think prior to Platinum, I probably would have said to this, yeah, we can start to think about this. I think post-Platinum, there are free-to-play ways to get it. You know, if you save up your Platinum from daily rewards, or like just a couple of weeks ago, we gave away 888 Platinum or something for the anniversary. So there's certainly ways to get Platinum and then to wait for that to cycle into one of your wild offers and grab it then. So I don't think we'll probably put it up for a gem cost. I think it's kind of tough to find a gem cost that works just because of the amount of gems that are being farmed. Is 5 million a really high gem cost? I mean, for a new player, yeah. For a player who's farming like 2.5 million gems a day, no. So I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it to try and find a cost that is nice and balanced. I think a better option is just to say, yeah, it's there, it's available for Platinum. Maybe we make it pop up in the weekly offers for Platinum, so it's a little bit easier to spot from time to time, especially with the free rerolls and whatnot. So that's kind of where my thinking is right now with regards to the Erois core.
All right. Next question. This one's from Batty Giraffe. Can we have a short folk sort for champions? Maybe a sort for Ashara's Bond and Ishi's too.
Yeah, this is a good question. My concern with starting to put in sort of these filtered sorts, or these filtered filters, these custom filters and whatnot, ourselves, is that there are just so many potential options. Every champion that has that kind of spec choice of like, I only work with champions like this, you could make a case for, there should be a filter for just that champion. And so, I mean, maybe the answer here is that there's sort of a special filter in the champion search that is populated by basically like spec choices for your for champions that are in the formation. So like if you have Ashara in the formation, then there would be here are Ashara's specs options, and you can pick between them, and it'll show you filters for that. Maybe that's a way to kind of go about that. I just think having one of them would feel awkward if we sort of manually put one in.
Well,
but having
it's-
all of them would just be like, it'd be a list like 900 options long. So some sort of one that can sort of adjusts based on which champions are in your formation. So yeah, if you want to build an Ashara formation with a bunch of short folk, you just put Ashara in there, and then a short folk kind of becomes, or Ashara's short folk spec becomes a filter. Maybe that's a way to do it.
It still seems like a lot of data, or a lot of filters that would have to be defined, I think would be the...
Yeah, the
Yeah.
question would be is, would there be a way to do that, to sort of detect the ones that would be useful for and do it? Because we do, like, we set reminder text. The reminder text that says like eligible champions or like champions in the formation, that is text that's already set on the ability. And so if we could look for that text and then figure out what the restriction is and then apply that as a filter in the champion search, that might work. There might be enough data to that automatically. If we couldn't do it automatically, then I don't think it'd be worth doing, because there's just so many specializations. We'd have to define all the data and whatnot for them. But if we could find a way to kind of do it with the existing, yeah, I mean, Garwar is saying the game is already pulling the data when the spec is checking. Why can't that just be used? I think if we could do that, that would be the way to go about that. I don't know. It's an interesting idea. Use the
Yep.
spec data that exists to create. I'm just writing something
Yeah,
out. Don't
yeah.
worry. Okay, gonna highlight that one for the debrief, and we can throw that into a list and see if a dev can make it happen.
All right, next question. This one is also from Batty Giraffe. I put Point in another formation to unlock all feat slots. Then I put him in one of his variants, and he was soft capped already, so I didn't pick a spec or anything. Is this a bug?
Yes, that sounds like a bug. When you pull champions between formations, they are supposed to reset to level 1.
That is true.
So if he did not reset to level 1, that is a bug. And with Punt, that is a stinky bug.
Dear. All right.
That is one smelly dwarf.
Next question. This one's from Cassius335. Next week, will David just be Mars with a fake beard?
I mean, if Dave can't get his shit together and get actual types of things for the giveaway trivia thing, then maybe. I mean, Mars would have to call in.
Yeah, you're gonna
Kind of.
you're gonna sequester me away.
Yes, we're gonna abscond. We're gonna sabsquand you, Sasquatch bond you. We're gonna glue you to a Sasquatch. Sasquatch bond you.
So that what? No one can take like a clear picture of me. I
No,
can't be
no
on stream.
no one will
because
ever be able to find
It'll
you.
be blurry.
You'll be gone. You will be a subject of a History Channel documentary. Documentary?
Well, they will see me spotted bounding in out of focus areas.
Yes.
All right.
Documentary. Why was I pronouncing that way? Anyway.
I don't know. You're not winning on the pronunciation.
Man, is this episode almost over?
It is. All right. Let's do one more question. This one is from Rough Rider.
My mic.
This one is from Rough Rider 1995, asking, can Kazran and Blushi get proper stacks when Briv skips over 2 bosses?
Yes, that sounds like a bug if they're not getting their proper stacks when they skip over 2 bosses. Likely because, the back end that's supposed to count that up does not, or I guess this would be front end, just is not taking into account that Briv can skip really far. Oh, Sean says it's on the list. And Sean's been in a bug hunt more recently than me, so there we go.
That's true.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay, let's call it there. Let's see. As always, we pulled some questions from the... Oh, no, that's not it. If we didn't get to your question this week, do not fret. We will have another opportunity. We'll be live again next week, sans David, though. Before we sign off, though, we'd like to thank our tireless mod, Sean, and our tireless bot, QuestionBot.
We really make this look like we're not very organized.
Yeah.
Is it a bit or... Anyway, and of course, thanks to all of you for hanging out, for watching the show, and enjoying the game, and for asking such great questions, because without you, no one here would get to do what we do.
And we like what we do.
That's true. All right. Enjoy the rest of your day, everyone.
Goodbye.
So Justin, I knew a guy in high school, and he knew every single symbol on every single world map, and he knew what it meant by heart and could tell you immediately on request.
Wow.
That guy was a legend. All right, one more. Why was Cinderella
Why
so
one
bad
more?
at soccer?
Why?
Because she kept running away from the ball.